Hello, everybody. My name is Ken Fairchild, broker with Red One Realty. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the Red One Plus program, which is Red One Realty's revenue share program. So I'm going to give you today the fundamentals, and we're going to talk about and cover Rev Share 101. So let's get started because there's plenty of material. So once again, the fundamental concepts, the first of which we need to understand is what is a personally sponsored agent? And a personally sponsored agent is an agent who attributes your influence as the reason they joined the Rev Share program. And once again, let's take this another step and must understand moving forward that a personally sponsored agent is a tier one agent. So if you personally sponsor somebody into the Rev Share program, they will go on your tier one, a very, very fundamental concept throughout this presentation. The primary goal for you and anybody in RevShare is to personally sponsor as many agents as possible in order to grow your tier one. And that is tier one of your downline. Different brokerages have different numbers of tiers, and they also have different agent count requirements on that tier one that are required to unlock the various tiers they have in their programs. Here at Red One Realty, there are a total of 6 tiers that you can unlock. You can unlock all 6 tiers and earn income on all 6 if you have 20 personally sponsored agents on your tier 1. An important note is that agents in your downline must remain active at Red One Realty and remain in the Rev Share program in order to qualify on your tier. Speaking of these tiers, obviously a very, very fundamental thing and very important concept in all revenue share programs. In order to earn income on all the tiers, there are different ways you must unlock them, but let's just talk about what the tiers look like. So as I mentioned, Red One Realty has 6 tiers that you can take advantage of. Tier 1 are those personally sponsored agents that you have referred into the program. Your tier 2 is comprised of agents who your tier 1 agents personally sponsor into RevShare. Tier 3 is comprised of agents who your tier 2 agents personally sponsor into RevShare. And on down to tier 6, your tier 6 are agents who your tier 5 agents refer into RevShare. Okay? And on this simple sponsorship example I have here, let's say you personally sponsor Mike. Mike is now on your tier 1. Mike sponsors Ken. Ken is now on your tier 2. Ken sponsors Samantha. She's on your tier 3. She sponsors Heather. Heather's on your tier 4. All the way down to Michelle sponsoring Bob. Bob ends up on your tier 6. An important thing, though, is just because you have agents on each tier does not mean you can earn income on all of those tiers from all of those agents. So let's look at what it takes to actually unlock the tiers to get paid. In order to get paid out for an agent on any given tier, you must have enough personally sponsored agents on your tier 1 to unlock the other tiers. So this isn't as if, hey, how many agents do I need on tier 5 to unlock tier 5? That's not how it works. You need a certain number of tier 1 agents in order to unlock the remaining tiers. At Red One Realty, as I mentioned, there's 6 tiers that you can unlock. You can unlock all 6 with 20 personally sponsored agents on your tier 1. On the chart to the side, we can see for tier 1, you need 1 tier 1 agent. Naturally, you sponsor 1 person in, they're going to unlock that tier 1 for you. But in order for you to get paid out on tier 2, you need 4 personally sponsored agents on your tier 1. Okay? This goes all the way down to unlock tier 6. You must have 20 personally sponsored agents on your tier 1. So examples, if you have 3 tier 1 agents, how many of the 6 tiers will you get paid out on, assuming you have agents on all those 6 tiers? And if we look to the chart, tier 2 requires 4 personally sponsored tier 1 agents. So unfortunately, if you only have 3 on that tier 1, you're only going to get paid out on tier 1. Now let's look at if you have 13 tier 1 agents, how many of the 6 tiers will you get paid out on? And if we look on that chart, we can see tier 4, the requirement to unlock tier 4, you need 12 personally sponsored tier 1 agents. Well, you have 13 in this scenario, so you're going to unlock tiers 1 through 4 and be eligible to receive compensation on all 4 tiers. So when you're doing, we do have calculators set up so you can look at the earning potential in Rev Share. And one of the categories is going to be the total agents in tier. Okay. This is the total number of agents on any given tier of your downline. And in order to forecast this total number, as well as the potential income that can be generated based on our calculator, you're really going to have to estimate how many agents you believe each agent will personally sponsor on average. In reality, the goal of any agent in Rev Share should be at least 4 personally sponsored tier 1 agents, as that's the number required to unlock your tier 2. And if you're not going to unlock tier 2, really there isn't a huge benefit to being in the Rev Share program. So while the goal is going to be at least 4 and really up to 20, when you're putting numbers into the calculators to determine the total number of agents in each of your tiers, I would assume that each agent in the Rev Share is going to, on average, bring in and sponsor 2, 3, or even that 4 number of agents in there for them. Okay, so examples: if you have 4 agents on your tier 1 who each sponsor 2 agents, well, then you'll have a total of 8 agents on your tier 2. The 4 agents on tier 1, each times an average of 2, is 8. If you have 8 agents on tier 4 who each sponsor 3 agents, well, then you would have a total of 24 agents on your tier 5, 8 times 3. Okay? Now let's look at what can you earn with all of these agents on your different tiers, assuming you've unlocked the tiers. So first and foremost, I will say that Red 1 Plus program features an 80-20 commission split with a $12,000 cap. In this example, you're going to make of the commission you earn, the gross commission, you're going to earn 80% of it right off the bat. The other 20% doesn't go just straight to the brokerage. It first goes into the revenue share pool so that agents in the downline can participate and earn parts of that 20%. Now, each tier has a different corresponding percentage that shows how much you can get paid out for each agent on that tier. This percentage, if you multiply it by the amount of commission paid in, this then creates the max earnings per agent for that tier. So if we look over to the chart, we can see tiers 1 through 6, and you can see the payout percentage that you can earn off of all of the agents you have on any given tier. So in this example, 25%, and for just to make it simpler, we did just assume everyone is hitting the $12,000 cap. We really don't know. Some people will, pay in 3,000, some will pay in 12. We just went and assumed what did the numbers look like, assuming everyone's going to hit the 12K cap, which in order to hit that means an agent on a 80-20 split is going to have, at the standard 3% commission, $2 million in sales for that year. Okay. So example, you can make 25% of that $12,000 or $3,000 total for the tier 1 agents that contribute to Rev Share. All right. Now on tier 6, let's say somebody on your tier 6 is capped at 12K. Well, you're going to earn 11% of that $12,000 or $1,320. You can see that tiers 1 through 3 are the most lucrative tiers, and we've structured that for your benefit. Okay, if you sponsor someone in your tier 1, well, clearly you should get a good portion of those earnings. 25%, $3,000 per agent, it's a good amount. Now you can see though we've incentivized tier 2 the highest, and that's because we want to build a culture of collaboration where you are benefited by really not just bringing somebody into Rev Share and then ignoring them and saying, hey, I'm going to earn 25% of your money. No, we're incentivizing you to help nurture that person, to help them grow their business, and to help them show them how they can build their downline as well. So for every agent that your tier one agents refer in and personally sponsor, you're going to make 30% or $3,600 of those agents who cap. So these tier earnings kind of look like this. You can see the sponsorship example. I've just showed on that example how you can unlock all 6 tiers. Obviously, there's only one agent in each tier, not a lot. There will be many more than that, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you unlock them. And the potential payouts look like this. So you sponsored Mike. Mike caps at $12,000. You're going to receive 25% of that money, or $3,000, as I've discussed. Ken, who's on your tier 2, caps at $12,000. You have the ability to receive 30% of Ken's commission, or $3,600. But as you can see in red, only if you've sponsored those 4 tier 1 agents in order to unlock tier 2. And this goes down to tier 3. Samantha on your tier 3 caps at $12,000. You have the ability to earn 15%, or $1,800 if you've personally sponsored 8 agents on your tier 1 all the way down to tier 6. So the full picture, I've pulled all of the charts in. You have your sponsorship chart. You have your tier requirements. Once again, 1 agent to unlock tier 1, 4 agents personally sponsored on your tier 1 to unlock tier 2. Tier 3 gets unlocked with 8 personally sponsored tier 1 agents all the way down to 20 on tier 6. The payout percentages, 25, 30, 15, 8, 7, 11. And those potential payouts. So if you ever need to reference this chart, it kind of shows the full picture. Now, I do want to just take a moment to let you know that there are different kinds of fees for Rev Share programs across the country with every brokerage. Red One Plus program does not charge all of these fees, but I just wanted you, when you're comparing apples to apples, you'll be able to see who charges which of these fees. And we have a handy chart. You're going to find out in other videos who's charging what and how do we stack up. So just to cover a few, there's a startup fee for many programs. And like it sounds, it's just a fee that's charged when someone enters the Rev Share program. A brokerage fee, that's a fee that sometimes is charged monthly by the brokerage or is taken out of a number of sales when you start each year. There are transaction fees that are charged to the agent and then often collected from the client. But a lot of Rev Share companies, such as ourselves, we don't start charging a transaction fee until you've hit your cap. So then you don't have to worry about that for a while. Some companies charge a CRM fee, which is a monthly fee charged to the agent to cover the CRM. And some brokerages have an errors and omissions or broker review fee that's charged per transaction to cover those expenses. So now let's take just a moment to look at a few examples, and you're gonna have access to these calculators. You can go on your own, but I'm just gonna show you. Let's say on the first example on the left, you only personally sponsor 4 agents, and let's say they don't sponsor any agents, so you're just left with those 4 agents, but they've all capped. So therefore, you earn $3,000 per agent, and you've just earned back your $12,000 cap, and so you break even for the year outside of fees. On the next example, let's assume each of your tier 1 agents, those 4, once again, the goal is for everyone to sponsor 4 agents to unlock tier 2. So let's assume they all did recruit 4 agents in. So then there's a total of 16 agents on your tier 2. Well, now you're earning even more money on those agents. And so in this simple example, just by unlocking 2 tiers, you've made almost $70,000 residual income. Example 2, let's assume you've personally sponsored 8 agents on your tier 1. And let's go conservative on the left and assume each agent has only on average sponsored 2 agents. You can see on the right example, let's assume they've each sponsored 3 agents. And you can see what these numbers look like with those 8 sponsored agents on relatively not aggressive calculators. You're earning easily 6 figures per year of residual income between $140,000 and $240,000. And then finally, This isn't even going to crazy, but it starts getting the tip of what I call monopoly money. Let's assume you've personally sponsored 12 agents on your tier one. And I will tell you, more than 10 agents has proven to be very difficult for many agents across the country in Rev Share programs. There are clearly several thousand agents who are doing it, but for the most part, recruiting 8, 10, 12 agents into the Rev Share program is difficult, and not only to bring them in, but also maintain that number. It is difficult, but it's not impossible. There are agents doing it all over the country. So in this case, you have 12 personally sponsored agents. On the left, you can see what happens if they each, on average, sponsor 2, and you can see that waterfall. On the right, you can see what if they, on average, sponsor 3, when once again, the goal is 4 agents per agent. But let's assume 2 and 3, and you can see you have the ability to earn between $300,000 and $670,000 per year. Once again, not typical examples, and these things take years. These downlines take years to build, but not impossible over the next 5 to 10 years, because the goal is to set this up and build this downline into retirement. In retirement, even when you decide you're no longer going to be a producing agent, you can move your license into our holding company if you've achieved the criteria, and you can receive this residual income in essentially retirement while you're not even selling homes. Okay, and there are sales requirements and all sorts of other details that you're going to learn about in other videos that we put out, and we'll have charts and the calculators and everything. But for now, I wanted to show you and really break down the fundamentals so that you understand what we mean in our future videos. And when you see and other brokerage charts and compare apples to apples, I just wanted you to understand the basics. And then with these examples, I wanted to show you a little bit of the potential, how this money can be life-changing. So once again, my name is Ken Fairchild with Red One Realty. I'm excited to help you all establish yourself in the Rev Share program and really work towards building wealth into retirement. Have a great day, and I'm here at any time to answer any questions and help you in any way.